We've spent a couple of days in the company of our friends at the organisation Faithful Steward in southeast Bulgaria, the Burgas region. We've been going to kindergartens and we've been enjoying giving out the presents to the children there. Faithful Steward helped to run a number of kindergartens in the area, and they support the children and their families in all kinds of different ways. But particularly these kindergartens are able to help Roma children who very often find it very difficult to access kindergarten places, and therefore they find it very difficult to go on to regular primary school. We've been treated to some nativity plays, we've been treated to some songs, and we've really enjoyed giving out your presents. And as you can see, the children have really enjoyed opening up your presents and discovering what's inside. We've also been able to visit a couple of senior citizens' homes and give out some presents there. We always get a warm welcome from the older folk, many of whom are pretty lonely because they miss their families, who often live either very far away in the larger cities or in another country altogether. And so it's not uncommon for us to hear about children and grandchildren who they rarely see. And sometimes we will visit an elderly person and then they will tell us about their life and maybe how they spent time in Russia or how hard life was back in the old days. But we're always made very welcome, and the presents do bring a great deal of joy. Sometimes the older folk struggle to understand the presents are for them, and then there's an outbreak of tears and happiness when they realise that actually, yes, it's a present for them, and they're really touched that strangers in another country would think of them. This is a protected home for adults. We've been coming here for a few years now. The house itself is 10 years old, and so the people here have been part of quite a tight-knit group for a while. And one or two of them speak very good English, and they tell us how much they've enjoyed living at the house and how different it has been to some of the other places that they've been at. And this final clip is from the House of Opportunity. This is a special joint project between Faithful Steward and FSCI. It helps young people who are leaving state care make the difficult transition to independence. And there are a number of young people present when we visited, including current residents and ex-residents. It's really good to see they've got a real community going there, and we really enjoy visiting and giving out presents.